Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Morning Slam podcast here on YouTube, also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Apple Play, wherever the hell it's called, Google, Google Podcasts, and wherever you see your podcast out in the world. Hello, I'm Justin. Welcome back. Yesterday was episode 1. Today is episode 2. We got a lot of stuff going on today here. Just real quick, let's get the housekeeping out the way. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, X, which is the link down below. Also my Instagram, follow me as well. I've been live tweeting. I was live tweeting all night during Monday Night Raw. If you want to, react to Raw with me, you can definitely check that out. Also as well, sponsored by my company, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. We have the fall sale up and running today, going through all the way through fall, where you get extra 10% off. Check out the main designs on the websites for men and women, and also in tank tops as well. So Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. So let's talk about some wrestling here. Monday Night Raw was a really good show last night. And ever since the merger, Raw has been good. It's the second Raw, but the last two shows has been good. SmackDown was good on Friday as well. So far so good with this with the merger. What I do want to say is Jey Uso and what he's bringing to the table. He has sprouted multiple storylines in WWE just for him coming in. I mean, he came in and basically there's 3 storylines based off him coming in, and the locker room, not wanting him there. Plus you got the Judgment Day there. Plus you got Cody there too, obviously, as well, and what's his situation. You got Drew McIntyre, turning heel, what seems, at least for him, to be turning heel. So Raw was very enjoyable overall. So we're going to get into that today also as well. We're going to talk about some Eddie Kingston news. We're also going to talk about SmackDown ratings and the future viewership for that, also along with the AEW Rampage. We got a note from AEW Dynamite Grand Slam from this past Wednesday. We got some Jey Uso news. And, we also got NXT coming up tonight, so we will preview that card as well. And, man, this is going to, like I said, it's going to be a very fun show here. So I appreciate everyone in the chat. Be a friend, tell a friend. As I said yesterday, I want this podcast to reach as many people as possible, right? And I would love to, to become bigger here on the platform and whatnot. But at the end of the day, this is just for fun. At the end of the day, I have my own business as well. But it's a passion project of mine that I love to do. So don't forget, every weekday, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Some people were thinking it was just on Mondays I'm doing it. No, it's every weekday. So let's not waste any more time. We got all the jibber jabber out of the way. Let's officially go over this Monday Night Raw show. And it comes from Ontario, California, not Ontario, Toronto, Canada. So, they're building up for Fastlane. And, you had a lot of good stuff here on the show. It did start off with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes did come out to the ring, made his entrance. And, everyone let's do the wow, do all that stuff. It's kind of cringe or whatnot, but it gets the fans involved. If you are a casual fan, you don't watch wrestling every week, you watch wrestling, every now and then, it's fun to do it. I get it 100%. So yeah, the fans are gonna, have their fun at the end of the day. So Cody comes out. He stated that he wants to cut right to the chase. He wants to cut right to the chase for why he brought back Jey Uso to WWE. And, before he really got into that, they were interrupted, or he was interrupted, rather, by the Judgment Day. And, I will say this, the Judgment, obviously they're having a feud with the Judgment Day right now, but you already know where this is going or whatnot. So I kind of predicted, a few weeks ago, not on the show because I just started the show, but just internally here, I say to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I really think that we're gonna have a War Games match, and I had another different idea that I don't think it's gonna happen. Most likely, 99.9% of the time is going to happen. They involve DIY, but that's not going to happen. But I will say this, that it seems after last night that it's clear that we are going to get a War Games match, most likely, and that it's clear we know the War Games match and the participants in it, which is great. I love the great foreshadowing that WWE does in situations like this, and that's being very foreshadowed, and it should be shipping up to be a good War Games match once it is officially announced. So Judgment Day was out there. Dom gets on the mic, and look, I really like Dom Mysterio. I think I'm gonna praise him a little bit more later on because they had a fantastic match, him and Dragon Lee on Dragon Lee's Raw debut. But a lot of people out there are saying that Dom gets, he gets heat, which he does. But a lot of those people don't go to the shows. At the shows, he's getting heat. It's loud in the arena. But on TV, either they turn up the boos or they turn down his microphone. I tweeted last night, I said, I think they may turn up the boos, but it's, at least last night, after listening to it again, it sounds like they actually turned down his microphone. And that's probably what it is. And, maybe I was thinking about it in reverse. But they clearly turned down his microphone. And if you don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just you're just naive and you're not listening right. So Dom does get heat. Don't get me wrong, he gets heat. It's just that it's not completely natural when it comes off on television. So, but it's good to see that he is getting the heat though. So yeah. So basically, coming down to the ring was Judgment Day. Then all of a sudden you see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Jey Uso come in the ring behind Cody Rhodes, as in like in a little standoff. Then you get JD McDonough, who was missing last week, comes out with 2 steel chairs, gives one to Finn Balor, and he was like, "Oh, are you guys in? Are you guys in?" Everyone was in, but Damian Priest and 3 members of the Judgment Day, even though JD McDonough's not officially part of it, rushed the ring, and they start to brawl. Then eventually Damian Priest gets in the ring and gets beat up by all 4 babyfaces. So at the beginning of Raw, I was like, okay, there's your War Games match. There's your War Games match right there. But that made even more clear that we're gonna get a War Games going into Survivor Series this year. We're just waiting for it to be announced at this point. But good opening segment. I love the way that they are foreshadowing War Games. I love that Cody is still not forgetting, well, why am I here? Why am I back? Or not why am I here, why am I back? Why is Jey Uso here? Why is Jey Uso back? So, I like I said, I love that foreshadowing. I love what they're doing there. And, continued storytelling. Monday Night Raw, as of late at least, has been, making stories, telling stories. And again, from this Jey Uso situation, it spawned into 3 different stories, 3 different storylines that spawned into. So it's very, 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 very cool that one person comes in, spawns up 3 different storylines, dynamic storylines at that, storylines that I care about, just because of that. So very good stuff there from the opening. We got our very first match of the night. It was what I called on Twitter. I called it like the flabby men. Give me what I want. Flabby men. So it was Otis, if you want to still call him that, versus Bronson Reed. It was short. It was sweet. It didn't overstay its welcome. It was fantastic. Fantastic. It showed the athletic ability of Otis that we probably never really seen too much before. But they were, they did regular big man spots where it was like Big Show versus Great Khali, or in this case, Bronson Reed versus Otis. So, you had a headlock spot, then shaw off the ropes, shoulder block. They're at a standstill, off the ropes, double crossbody collision. Basically Otis recovers. Bronson rolls away from a Vader bomb. Before that, Otis did I think Bronson was going for like a clothesline, and Otis does like a lucha roll, like he was doing like actual lucha roll. So good stuff there. Good athletic ability from Otis, but Bronson Reed wins with a tsunami. So, you gotta continue building up Bronson Reed. And one of the things I really liked about this show was that they are focusing on new talent, or they're giving talent who's never really had a run yet, they're letting them run with the ball. You had Bronson Reed, you had Tegan Knox, you had Dragon Lee, who was new, you had Tommaso Ciampa. So you got people on this show who's getting opportunities, right, to run with the ball per se, who's never really had that chance to run with the ball. That's what we need. We need new stars. We need new faces on TV. We need new people for the crowd, for the fans to get attached to. And if those wrestlers don't get those opportunities, how can we expect to care about them on TV? Those 4 names right there, probably Dragon Lee, it was more of a debut. It's just for him to be noticed. He's not going to be called up to the main roster immediately right now, but at least people know who he is. And when he comes back, since his match, to me, is going to be memorable, when he comes back to either Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, people are going to be aware of who he is and what he is, and also as well because he went up against Dom too as well. People are going to be aware of how good he is, and they may even tune in NXT for him too as well. Who knows? But at the end of the day, though, Bronson Reed wins. It was a very short match, but it was fucking awesome. So hey man, I'm all for that. At the end of the day, I'm all for big flabby men, working in the ring and doing what they need to do. So very good stuff overall. I give that a 10 out of 10. It was fantastic. Match of the decade, right? Not really, but it was match of the decade for me. Anyway, so after that, we go backstage. I mentioned Tegan Nox just a second ago. We see Becky Lynch with Tegan Nox, and Becky alludes to her promo last week saying, "Hey, I was expecting someone like you to come out there, instead of Natalya. Don't let Natalya, or anyone else push you around. You got to be, more aggressive." Essentially, what Becky Lynch was saying. But basically, long story short, if you guys don't remember last week, Tegan Nox was supposed to actually start a story with Becky Lynch per se, or start a story in general, and basically they changed plans at the last minute to get Natalya out there. So I think at the end of the day, if this is where they thought this story would go better with, I'm not gonna complain, right? I'm not gonna complain. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that match a little bit later because Natalya came up in an interview later. We'll talk about that. But I think it was right after this, or it was I think it was right after, because there was a commercial break. They came back from commercial break. Then there was Adam Pearce there with Tegan Nox, and Tegan Nox was talking to Adam Pearce, talking about, hey, I want a shot at whoever wins between Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch for No Mercy. No Mercy is this Saturday, and they're going to be facing off against each other in an Extreme Rules match, which should be a dynamic match. Tegan Nox was talking to the Adam Pearce, hey, I should get the winner of that match. Natalya came up and, basically said, hey, be cautious, this, that, and the other. And basically, long story short, we're going to get Tegan Nox versus Natty a little bit later tonight, which we'll talk about. Next match, we have Ludwig Kaiser, his ascent, continuing his popularity. We got Ciampa chants, and a shout out to the Ontario crowd. A good shout out to the Ontario crowd. They were smart. They were cheering for Ciampa. They were cheering for Tegan Nox. They were cheering for, those guys. Excuse me, those guys in their matches. So, which is cool. So we need smart crowds like that. You know what I mean? Because the smart crowds. I mean, you gotta make sure that you gotta make sure. Am I still in the air? Did I drop frames? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Did it restart my podcast? I don't think it matters for the, let me see. I think it restarted my podcast. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if it restarted it. Interesting. Okay, I gotta fix that after this here. So sorry about that. But regardless, though, as I was saying, that you had fans out in Ontario cheering for people that you'll never really hear get cheered. We heard "Let's Go Ciampa" chants during this match between Ludwig Kaiser and Tommaso Ciampa, and we heard "Let's Go Tegan" chants. So hopefully that rubs off to other cities as well. To like, hey guys, you should be cheering for these guys. But as far as Tommaso Ciampa versus Ludwig Kaiser, it was a very serviceable match. Nothing, that was fantastic or anything, but it was a fairly good TV match. We know these guys can go in the ring, but it was a fairly it got straight to the point because they didn't have a lot of time either. But basically you see at one point Ciampa does a Lutez press to Kaiser here. Before we go to commercial break. After commercial break, that's where the match picks up. Kaiser was in control. He was in control before the commercial break. Ciampa was on the floor. There was going to be a 10 count. He beats back into the ring. So they were going, out of the ring for a little bit. But then we saw Project Ciampa. Then we saw Giovanni Vinci get involved because, of course, he got involved. And we can see Ciampa hit him with the knee. Then Kaiser hits it as a Giri, goes for the cover. It was a 2 count. Then Ciampa hits Kaiser with a jumping knee. Very different. It wasn't, Project Ciampa. It wasn't, Willow's Bell, or it wasn't the fairy tale ending. It was just a jumping knee. I don't know if Ciampa's gonna be using it as his finisher from now on, but honestly, I would rather just keep one of those other 3 that I mentioned, especially the fairy tale ending. I don't know if it's because the fairy tale ending is not really a pile driver, but kind of like a pedigree-ish move, and I don't know. But everyone's using pedigree now too as well, so I don't know. But I'll just say this, that, I'd rather have Ciampa. Now, I will say this, he's for his size, he's very strong. Do they think that Ciampa can't put Gunther in the fairy tale ending? That's why they're trying to get over this jumping knee? I don't know. But regardless, though, Ciampa and Gunther, which seems to be on the way, because after the match, Ciampa did a post promo in the camera, and saying how he's going to take everything away from Gunther. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this here and see on how they progress here. But it looks like to me that at Fastlane, we're going to get Ciampa versus Gunther. Not official yet, but that's going to seem to be on the way. So, next we have Tegan Nox versus Natalya. Becky Lynch comes down to the ring to be on commentary. Match was short, but during this match as well, it shows that Tegan Nox is an asset if you give her the ball. One thing I will say about Tegan Nox that is her weakness is that she cannot cut a promo. She's not a good speaker. And I know that's probably the biggest thing on why she's not on television. But if you allow for her to go out there and not have her speak as much, you know what I mean? You want to, not exploit her weaknesses. You want to make sure that her strength is under a spotlight and make sure that's shining, right? You do not want to exploit her weaknesses. And I think her weaknesses is definitely her, her character per se and her promo ability. She has the look. She has the multicolored hair and she has gray attire, right? She looks great. You know what I mean? I think she's very, 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 very beautiful. She's not bad on the eyes. And, she can go in the ring. Even though this match here itself, to me, I think she was going a little bit tassel for my taste, but you can tell that she, and Grant too as well, she had 2 ACL surgeries. I've seen both times that she got injured. I think they were both during the Mae Young Classic. I know for sure one was for sure during the Mae Young Classic. I don't know if the other one was before the Mae Young Classic, like on the NXT, but yeah, man. Or the story was that she tore her ACL. Then she was in the Mae Young Classic. Then she tore ACL again in the second match of the tournament for her. So it was yeah. Anyway, but basically at the end of the day, back and forth action here. You saw a penalty kick, a Gort Buster from Tegan Nox. You saw Neidhart going for a Liger Bomb, which went for a 2 count. But at the end of the day, Tegan Nox wins with the shiniest wizard for the 1, 2, 3. Michael Cole, you can tell who Michael Cole has affection towards to One of those has been Tegan Nox, and the other one was Toni Storm. If you ever seen any of the Mae Young Classics, you can tell that, because Michael Cole was on the commentary for those, you can tell that, was Michael Cole? No, Michael Cole was on commentary for Evolution. It was Mauro. I think it was Mauro. It may have just been Mauro and Lita, if I remember right. It was either Mauro and Lita or Michael Cole and Lita. Wherever the case would be, you can see Michael has that affection towards Tegan Nox on commentary, because you can tell, you can just see on the way he speaks about her. And he speaks about her in high regard, and she deserves as well. So hopefully we'll talk about this a little bit later, but hopefully this leads to a bigger story with Tegan Nox. Hopefully she can be utilized more on TV. This is what we need more. We need more people being utilized, and that's what we're getting. We're getting on the men's side. We got Bronson Reed, and we got Tommaso Ciampa, and it seems like they're gonna be, at least for a little bit, on TV more regularly. On the women's side, it looks like, at least for now, we're gonna have Tegan Nox on Raw, and that's what we need. We need more women. This is how you build up more stars, right? Because on Raw, we got our Becky Lynch's and Rhea Ripley's and Chelsea Greens and Nia Jax, unfortunately, and so you got women like that, Shayna Baszler, right? But we need more women, like, for situations like either to do a women's war games, which I don't see right now. But I will say that Raw at least use their women more and better than SmackDown. But they do have more women on Raw too as well. But my question is, where's Katana Chance and where's Kaden Carter? I get we can't get everybody on the show. Liv Morgan's out. I get that too as well. But Tegan Nox, I'm glad that she's getting the opportunity. This is what I want. I want her. I want women. I want people to get the opportunity. If it doesn't work out, we can at least say, okay, hey, they had chances. They had, a feud with someone. It didn't work out. Okay, I get why WWE is not utilizing them. Totally understand it, right? But, yeah, man, I'm very glad to see that she is getting that opportunity at the end of the day. So good for Tegan Nox. I wish her the best. And, in what she's doing there. But yeah, with her winning, though, it was very refreshing. So, okay, so next, after that, we get a Seth Rollins promo. There was a lot to break down from this. At one point in this promo, Seth Rollins says he's the best in the world. Look, I'm not really gonna speculate on that. I'm not gonna speculate, because Rollins said, I am the best in the world. Is WWE telling us something? Possibly. Definitely possibly. But I'm not going to speculate on that. And now if they continue to egg it on, and egg it on, and egg it on, then there's more smoke to that fire. Okay? So, but yeah, basically, long story short, he wanted to challenge Shinsuke Nakamura. At one point as well, I was thinking, like, because Seth Rollins said, oh, this could be my final match. Okay, Seth. Like, I know you're selling your back, right? I know your back is legitimately, fucked up too as well. Is it your last match, really? I don't think it's going to be your last match. You know what I mean? Maybe the last match of my career. Like, stop. Just stop it. Stop it. I know you're injured. But I know you're trying to sell a match, but stop it. Don't insult my intelligence. Okay. But it's gonna be a last man standing match. Shinsuke Nakamura came out. He didn't come out, but he was on the Titantron with subtitles. And the way that they do Shinsuke Nakamura, the presentation of him, very New Japan like, with some of the promos. I really like it. It's a different dynamic with them. And it's not your same Shinsuke at the end of the day. But I really like what they do with them. But he got, basically did a promo and basically said last man standing. So it looks like we're going to get a last man standing match at Fastlane between Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins. So let's talk about that. Last man standing equals babyface wins, in my opinion. If you look at the records of last man standing matches throughout WWE's history, it's just a guess. Maybe baby faces win 80 to 85% of the time. That's just a guess. I don't know. 80 to 85% of the time. I know one on top of my head that ended with a heel win, and that was Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano in their last man standing match. I forgot what takeover was. I don't know if maybe it was Chicago again. I don't know. I don't remember, but that's one for sure I could think off the top of my head. But man, like I just remember like a lot of last man standing matches in screw. I think it was like John Cena versus The Miz or Batista, or whoever got like, duct tape between their feet, duct tape over the ring post. Whoever that was going up against John Cena. Was it Randy? I don't remember, but that pissed me off back in the day. But regardless, though, last man standing match, babyface wins. So I expect Seth Rollins to win here, and it depends what they do next week. Wherever the segment is next week, it depends on that. So I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens there, and see what they do about that, because I don't trust WWE to put the title on Shinsuke Nakamura. I would love to see a title run, because I think he deserves it. But I don't know if they're gonna end up doing it, because at the end of the day, too, and I would be okay with Shinsuke being a transitional champion. Have him win, let Seth be at his lowest, kind of like Rocky 3 or whatnot. You know what I mean? I was gonna say Hearts on Fire, Strong Desire, but that's Rocky 4. But have Seth being down very low, then have him winning back in the next pay-per-view. I will be okay with that if the story is told correctly, but I don't know. We'll have to see on where they go from there with that. But segment overall was, it didn't really assault my intelligence. It did what it needed to do. We did see Ricochet being interviewed backstage. He doesn't know when he's going to be cleared, but he does know one thing: he's going to come after Shinsuke Nakamura. So maybe they can have Shinsuke win. This is just me thinking. It's either Ricochet goes after Nakamura, which is not going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship, or it's going to be the next feud, I think, will possibly be Nakamura versus Ricochet as Seth recovers and he tries to get himself back. Then after that, once Seth is ready to come back, it will be Shinsuke versus Seth again. I think that would be a great way to do it. I would personally do that if I was booking it. I just don't think that that's what the direction WWE is going to go in. That's just something that I would personally would like to see, right? But I don't think WWE is going to do that at the end of the day. So we got the NXT North American Championship match. Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee. This was fantastic. Not match of the year. Not the greatest match ever. Not the, not the best North American Championship match ever. No, it's none of that. But it was a great debut for Dragon Lee on the main roster. And look, guys, let's be honest here. Dragon Lee wrestled in the freaking Tokyo Dome. Dragon Lee wrestled on Dynamite. You know what I mean? So like, he's wrestled in front of big audiences before. He's wrestled in front of American audiences many times, or even in Japan as well, in big. So to me, this was the biggest match of his career, right? Because it's on the biggest platform on the show that's been around for 30 years. Obviously, to me, this is the biggest match of the year. But at the end of the day, though, if you follow Dragon Lee, if you know where he comes from, if you know, what kind of matches he's been in. For hell, he wrestled in Jushin Thunder Liger's last match. He wrestled in Jushin Liger's last match, which was a tag match, right? I think it was with him and Hiromu Takahashi versus Jushin Thunder Liger and someone else. I forget who, but I believe his last match at Wrestle Kingdom last year or 2 years ago, wherever it was. But regardless, this match here was great. Dom, hey man, I'm just gonna say this, man. He's being the allegations. He's being the can't wrestle allegations. Not only his character work is tremendous, but he's getting better in the ring, and it showed in this match. It really showed in this match. I mean, he looked now. It takes two to tango because Dragon Lee was there too as well. But again, it takes two to tango because Dom looked good here as well. I mean, just nice back and forth counters. Freaking Dragon Lee was doing his high flying stuff. He did a tope kind hero over the ropes before commercial break. Then you see Mysterio was getting heat on Lee for a little while. So you see like elbows and scoop slams and lariats and all that stuff there. But we got a lot of good stuff here from Dragon Lee as well, like a hesitation drop kick in the corner. We saw near falls being traded. We saw a big over the rope Hurricane Rana onto the floor from Dragon Lee. We see a basically a golden star powerbomb, last ride powerbomb, wherever you want to say, but that beautiful last ride sit down powerbomb from Dragon Lee, which is his finisher, and it was a 2 count. Then we see a trio woe from Dragon Lee. He put on to Dominic, did a diving double foot stop from the top rope, which looked super sick. Then at the end of the day, you see it was a clean match too, no Judgment Day business as well. But at the end of the day as well, Dragon Lee was going to go for another maneuver, but Dom crotches him on the top ropes. Dom hits the frog splash for the 1, 2, 3 pinfall, and the response on social media was great. Not just me. I said at one point, I said, look, I said Dom and Dragon Lee, they're pulling up one for the hood right now. It was a great match. It was a great match. This is how you get and how you create new stars. This is how you create new stars. Now, obviously, Triple H is in control of creative for the most part. We'll say about 90% at this point. God, man, how come Vince did not allow matches like this on the main roster when NXT was at its height? Yeah, we did get the NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown, but that was because, if you guys remember the story, that was because the talent was still at the Saudi airport after one of the Saudi events. I think it was Crown Jewel. Remember when they couldn't leave and they had to get the NXT guys up to, like, I forgot where it was. Like, it was like Baltimore or wherever it was, to have a show. And basically it was basically like a NXT light version of SmackDown. So I really wish that we would have had NXT more consistently on main roster being showcased, right? Could you imagine Shinsuke Nakamura early on? Could you imagine? And they did Kevin Owens too early on too as well, but it wasn't consistent with that. But I'm glad now that Triple H is having that say to get these NXT matches, NXT talent on the show. Wish we could have seen Carmelo Hayes, and as we haven't seen Carmelo Hayes. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think we've seen Carmelo Hayes yet on the main roster. We definitely seen Braun Breaker. We've seen Tiffany Stratton. I don't think we've seen Tiffany Stratton in a match either. But regardless, great match, and that's to me, that's Dom's best match ever. That's Dom's best match ever, singles match at least. So, the first 2 hours of Raw, we're rolling, baby. It's, what I mean? It's rolling, baby. It's looking good. So, first 2 hours, looking good. All right, we come back from commercial break after we see Nia Jax walking backstage, coming out to the ring. Come back from commercial break. There was an interview between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and basically, long story short, Owens says Jey Uso has proved isn't that he wasn't with Judgment Day last week. Zayn says it's not about Uso or even about the Judgment Day. It's about the two of them coming up together and making it to the main event of WrestleMania and taking back what is theirs. So they're going to try to take back what is theirs, which is the tag team championships, which will be main eventing the show. First, all the way from the beginning of the show, with the opening promo to that promo segment, Raw has been great. I wouldn't say Raw of the year, but it's been great. I'm not like most girls. Even though that's not our theme anymore, it's kind of like a remix. It's like, I'm not like most girls. Remix. So, Nia Jax comes out. This promo was shit. It was terrible. It was awful. It was like I can't begin to tell you on how bad it was. She hasn't improved. She hasn't improved at all. She lost weight. She looks better. But this was terrible, man. Obviously, from what it seems like, the Nia Jax situation seems like it was a Vince call to get her back right before the merger happened. And she comes out there and she says absolutely fucking nothing at all. It's terrible. She comes out there and she says she apologized for not paying attention to Michael Cole. She says Nia Jax is she says that she's the baddest human in WWE. Who writes this stuff? Who writes this crap? I'm the baddest human in WWE. That's like saying like, oh, I am the most popular human in WWE history, WWE Universe. It seems like a robot wrote this for Nia Jax, and she sounded very robotic as well. Terrible. And if you don't think it gets any worse, after she runs down all the women, she was like, Chelsea Green, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, and all that crap. Zoe Stark comes out, and I think Zoe Stark is great in the ring. She's fantastic. She's better than Nia Jax. You know what I mean? Overall, if I had to put them in the top pole, Nia Jax would be towards the bottom. And look, at the end of the day, I have no ill will against Nia Jax as far as I'm talking about her on-screen character. On-screen character. This is just my opinion. Just me, just like, Roger Ebert critiquing a movie, right? This is just my opinion. I have no ill will against her. I actually follow her. I think she does a lot of great stuff on Instagram. She does her TikToks. I think they're funny. Great, you know what I mean? But when it comes to her character on television and her in-ring work, it's just not there. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not believable for me. You already got, women of similar styles, we'll say, of like a Doudrop, of like a, you got Doudrop, you got Nia Jax, you got Raquel Rodriguez, you got Rhea Ripley, bigger women, and, either taller, right, or wider. You got women like that who are already there. What is Nia Jax doing better than those women? She ain't better than Doudrop. Doudrop is a good damn in-ring wrestler. She's great. I love Doudrop. I call her Doudrop. It's Piper Niven. Sorry. Piper Niven. I can't believe I'm calling her Doudrop, but actually, Doudrop rolls off the tongue better. The name just sucks. You know what I mean? It just rolls off the tongue better. But at the end of the day, we see, like I said, Doudrop and Piper Niven is better than Nia Jax in the ring. You got Raquel Rodriguez, who's definitely better than Nia Jax overall. Then Rhea Ripley, like, come on, like that, it's a no fucking contest when it comes to that. So anyway, Zoe Stark comes out to the ring, and as I mentioned, Zoe Stark is great in the ring. Do not give her a microphone. Woo! It was bad, man. She comes out there, she gets right in Nia Jax's face. Nia shoves her back. Zoe charges at her, and Man, terrible, man. Nia Jax versus Zoe Stark. Nia Jax wins with the Banzai drop. Like, look. They gotta give Nia Jax a new finisher. Because she's gonna hurt. She's going to hurt people. She's already hurting people already. She hurt people. She hurt people when she was in WWE the first time, and she's already hurting people. She already hurt Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. Her first night back, hurting them. They need to change her finisher. I don't know what they can. Wherever they do, like, I wouldn't trust her with a powerbomb. I'm trying to think of what we'll do that'll be more safe. The Banzai drop ain't safe. Samoan drop. Death Valley Driver. How would do a Death Valley Driver? No, I don't trust her to do that either. She'll probably break someone's neck. They need to figure something out with Nia Jax, though, as far as, like, her finisher. But, oh, man. So, anyway, that was the end of the match there. Backstage, we see Jey Uso interviewed. He says there's no groups, no emo bands, and especially no Judgment Day. Cody took a chance on him, and he didn't he won't do him like that. He says he and KO have beef, but it is what it is, and Sammy is his dog. But if Judgment Day tries some funny moves, he'll be there to keep an eye on him. So, I love that they're not ignoring. So he hit on a lot of points there. Hey, Cody took a chance on me. Hey, we're not friends, but hey, he took a chance on me. Hey, me and KO have beef, right? Hey, but hey, hey, it is what it is, as he said. Then he says, "Hey, Sammy's my dog." So I'm loving that bit of detail there for that. So we come back from commercial break, and we see. We come back from commercial break, and we see Finn Balor congratulating Dominic Mysterio on his successful title defense, and reassures Damian Priest to go cool off because he got in the face. Damian Priest got in the face of JD McDonough, and that was earlier as well, but in these notes it didn't have that segment in there. So yeah, basically, long story short, earlier at the beginning of the show, JD McDonough, or Damian Priest got in the face. JD McDonough scared him off. So I don't know what happened to these notes here because, yeah, this website is terrible with notes. Like, they're very lazy with it. But anyway, go to Miz TV. Miz was in the ring. Drew McIntyre came out and made his entrance. But we had a Miz TV segment. Miz tells him to take all his frustration out on Kofi Kingston tonight. Because it was going to be Kofi Kingston versus Drew McIntyre, and that this is the place he can speak freely. The A-lister commends him for throwing Jey Uso to the wolves and says he had done the same thing. Drew says he's nothing like The Miz, but the A-lister says they're not a lot alike. And abandoning Uso is a Miz move. He walks through the events of Clash at the Castle, to remind you why he doesn't like Jey Uso. McIntyre cuts him off and says, "Karma's a bitch," in my, Scottish accent, which is probably like a -2 from a 1 to 10. Miz says Jay made his bed, and last week he slept in it. He says Drew is the Batman of WWE, and that makes Cody Rhodes Superman. So how did it feel to get upstaged by Cody last week? Miz just instigator. He's like, yeah, anyway. But yeah, so basically, long story short, we have so we have the New Day come out, make their entrance or whatnot, and come out, make their entrance, and basically Kofi was basically saying that he should have helped Jay last week. Why did you walk out on him? This, that, and the other, and basically led to a match. We'll cut that short there, but we know what the problem was. It basically led to a match, and it was a good match, very good match between these two. We saw Alabama slams, we saw belly to belly suplexes, we saw future stock DDTs, we saw a lot of great stuff in this match between Kofi and Drew McIntyre. But at the end of the day, there was a distraction that happened where he gets attacked by ringside. So basically, Ivar attacks Xavier Woods by ringside, and Kofi turns around to see it, and Drew basically hits him with a Claymore. So 1, 2, 3. After the match, Ivar beats up. He beats up. I was gonna say he beat up. Ivar beats up Kofi Kingston in the ring. Drew McIntyre walks away, and that is your match and segment there. So we're gonna deviate from Raw for a second because there is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I might have to change the thumbnail here. After all this here. So this is coming from WWE. It was first reported by ESPN, but this is so real. We already knew this was gonna happen. We already knew this was gonna happen. It's not news to us, but since this is official, we can announce it. Jade Cargill has officially signed with WWE with a multi-year deal with WWE, as first reported by ESPN. Great stuff. I mean, this woman is going to be, I mean, she's already a star, but she's going to be a huge superstar. A huge superstar. I think that if done correctly, if she improves in the ring and all that stuff, like, we gotta, I won't say that she's like a Chris Benoit. I don't know why Chris Benoit was first person that came to my mind. A Kurt Angle. A Kurt Angle, she's not that, but if she improves in the ring to be very serviceable, to put on good high profile matches with like a Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, a Bianca Belair, she could be one of the biggest stars ever in WWE for the women's division. Period. She has that superhero look. She can be Storm in an X-Men movie if they ever decide to do that, or X-Men TV show if they ever decide to do that. She can be Storm. She can be in, like I said, in movies. She's gonna. ESPN is probably gonna want her on, First Take. You never know. You know what I mean? Because how sometimes they get some wrestlers on there, Triple H on there. You never know. They may get Jade Cargill on there. I can see her being on that level. I'm really interested to see where her merchandise is. I am in the action figure game, so she does have her AEW figure. She has several AEW figures out. She just had the AEW shop one. I think it was the one out of 3,000. Then she had Series 4 in the Unmatched series. Then she has the 2-pack with Britt Baker with the TBS title. So she has 3 AEW figures off the top of my head right now. She's going to get Mattel figures. She's going to get basics. She's probably going to get a freaking ultimate figure, an elite figure. It's going to be great. Her merchandise as far as her t-shirts. They may even, I wouldn't be even surprised if they even come out with the platinum silver wigs for little kids to wear in the crowd. I don't know. Because they did have like remember the Enzo Amore hair, they used to have, but she looks like she's a star. It's just great. Now let's talk about her debut and when she's debuting. I want her to go to NXT. I want her to get her bearings in NXT. I want her to learn the craft in NXT, learn WWE television in NXT. If you remember, 7 years ago, AJ Styles, when he debuted in WWE, he even said himself that, hey, I should have been in NXT for at least 6 months to a year before I came up to the main roster. Now it's AJ Styles. Obviously, if he did that, he probably would have never become WWE champion. So he did take that gamble, and it worked for him at the end of the day. But I will love Jade Cargill to be down there because I want to see her have longevity within the company. She's already having that multi-year deal. So, and that's another reason why they bring back Nia Jax. Because once Jade Cargill comes in, I think Jade Cargill is going to go on SmackDown, me personally, which I don't agree with because I want her and Bianca Belair to stay away from each other, and it's inevitable that they'll come together. Unless if they're in the faction with the Hurt Business or what's supposed to be the new Hurt Business with the Street Profits, and they make them a tag team. Then you got Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. I'm cool with that. I just don't want them to be in a 1-versus-1 dynamic. I think that's super fucking early for that. But they may put her on SmackDown, or they may do a this is what I would do. Have her on SmackDown, debut on SmackDown, right? If she's going to the main roster. This is how I would do it. I would have her go to SmackDown, debut on SmackDown, right, for maybe like a month, then trade her to Monday Night Raw. In exchange for more women. So you could send like 3 women over there. If Tegan Nox is still around, you can send Tegan Nox over there, and maybe you can send Kane Carter and Katana Chance. Something like that. So that way you can evenly split these the women. But I mean, we're gonna get more news about it. There's gonna be including myself. Well, I'm not talking about right now, but again, Jade Cargill has officially signed to WWE. So, hey man, it's yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man. So it's a big deal, man. It's a really huge deal that she's signed to WWE. So we'll take it to the chat for a second here in a little bit here, but I want to get your thoughts. I'm going to change the thumbnail real quick as I'm doing this here, but what are your guys' thoughts about Jade signing to WWE? Do you think it's a win? Do you think it's a loss? Do you think that she's going to live up to the hype? Like, what do you think about this here? Because I think it's going to live up to the hype, and even more so, in my opinion. Like, it's a really, really big deal. It's a really big deal. You know? Hold on. I'm just getting this thumbnail changed here. This is why you need to hire producers. Nah, like even if we're hire producers, is that like, it will just be, Usually I'll just keep going forward, but this is breaking news, so I want to kind of get it out there, and we'll take Dom out. Dom, you had a good run on here. Yeah, I had a good run on here, Dom, but I gotta remove you. Put Jade in there. She's looking good, as Booker T was saying. Shooky dookie. Quack, quack. Can we appreciate how great Booker T is, too, as well? Like, he's just amazing. Let me see. Like, can we appreciate how good Booker T is? And let me see. Let's do this. Can I do this here? Oh, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. All right, Jay's going to look a little bit off center, but that's okay. So yeah. It's a pretty big deal. The second biggest wrestler from AEW to make the jump. Yeah, it's huge, man. And what's it do for AEW? I mean, honestly, she wasn't on TV for a while. Well, yeah, for a while she wasn't on TV. So, and they ain't really like fully tapped in to her potential. They didn't really tapped in to her potential. You know what I mean? Like, I really think that they could have done more with Jade. But, hey, man, everything happens for a reason at the end of the day. This is their loss. I'm pretty sure we're going to hear more about this later on as far as I mean, we've been hearing reasons why she left. She was saying that, it wasn't due to, I mean, we didn't hear officially, but the rumor is that it was because of money. It was because of money, but I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking that she wants to do more with their officially do more with their career overall than just than just. I'm sorry, I'm doing two things at once here. Officially doing more than within WWE, because she's seeing like last week WWE had no, it wasn't last week, it was the week before. The week before last week, WWE had 3 women's matches to main event their shows: SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. All main evented with women's matches. So she's seeing that. She's seeing like the spectacle of what WWE is doing, and plus, if you really think about it too, as well, she just have a better. She has a overall better opportunity down in WWE. So it's just to me at the end of the day it's just a no brainer. It's 100% no brainer. Jade Cargill is it makes 100. It just makes sense. It just makes sense, and But hold on, we're almost getting this thumbnail changed. Thank you for everyone who is coming in though. So if you guys don't know, this is every morning, guys. So if you guys are coming in right now, this is the Morning Slam podcast. So I am streaming every morning. This is the second episode here. Big news on the second episode here that Jade Cargill officially signed to WWE. But let's see here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this. But yeah, Jade Cargill's officially signed to WWE, so it's very big news for that. And hey man, it's well deserved too as well. We'll see where they go with her, and we'll see on how they utilize her. But it's a big thing, man. So I don't know if they're gonna do like a press conference or anything like that with her. They kind of. I'm waiting for the Triple H picture. When's that Triple H picture gonna come out? You know what I mean? The point. You gotta get the point, man. You know what I mean? You gotta get the point. All right. So I got the thumbnail in there now. Jade Cargill officially signed to WWE. And we'll talk a little bit more about Jade in a little bit too as well. But we're going to finish up the Raw recap really quick as well. But and I got 30 minutes left in the podcast as well. So I gotta get going here. So, but all right, everything's updated now. We're ready to go, I think. All right, sorry about that. All right, cool. Let's get back into it. Let's continuing Raw here. I think if someone could refresh the stream, see if it officially changes the name of the podcast. Thank you. That'll be great. Just refresh it. All right, so Drew McIntyre wins, and we're moving on. Which is the main event. So we got here with the main event now. So that's all we got to talk about. But main event, cut short. Great main event. I will say this though, and just because of what the news just happened, I'm not gonna rush this here. Ever since the beginning of this year, even though it was a great main event, I'm not taking anything away from the main event, and that we are gonna get a War Games match for what it seems like. I still cannot ignore the fatigue and the number of matches that the Judgment Day, all members of the Judgment Day, and a mixture of Cody, Sammy, Kevin Owens. Now you can include Jey Uso into that now. Jey Uso. There were, and I counted, before last night, 15 matches on Raw or pay-per-view that included that combination this year, and last night was 16. That's maybe like at least 2 or 3 times a month. Because I think it started happening after WrestleMania, and this was started happening after WrestleMania. So basically, we're almost 6 months. Come on, like I get it. There's other ways to tell stories other than just putting them in tag team matches or one-on-one matches. You can tell other stories with including other people with disqualifications, beatdowns, countouts, things of that nature. Very unimaginative, but as of right now, my interest is peaking right now due to the addition of Jey Uso, and my interest is peaking right now due to the possible War Games. But man, I'm not gonna ignore that right there. But the match overall was great match. I mean, these guys are not gonna put on a bad match whatsoever. At the end we did see Cody go out there and Jay go out there. Then you see JD McDonough coming out there as well. Basically helping out the Judgment Day, and you see basically officials running down to the ring as well. Like your who was that? Was Petey Williams out there? I think it was like Petey Williams. And I think he had Kenny Dykstra out there. You got all your. I'm waiting for Nick Aldis to come out there. I forgot to mention too as well. Nick Aldis and Sean Daivari produced Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio. So hey man, Nick Aldis, man, former NWA champion. Obviously he knows what he's doing. So that was pretty awesome. But regardless though, I'm waiting for Nick Aldis to actually come out there on TV if he's officially signed to WWE as a producer. But basically, long story short, you get a big brawl. Judgment Day wins by pinfall. They still retain the tag team titles. Then we see a lot of brawling at the end of the show with Cody, Jey Uso, Sammy, and Kevin versus the Judgment Day, including JD McDonough. And at one point you saw, I believe it was Cody who did a suicide dive through the ropes, knocking JD McDonough over the announce table. Looked pretty, a little pretty brutal there. But that was the show, guys. And again, Raw, compared to last week and this week, was damn good. A lot of great storytelling here. Great matches. New stars being developed. New stars taking, having a chance to be taken on with them, right? You got 3 storylines spawned from this. You got the Drew McIntyre story. You got the Cody story on why he's bringing back Jey Uso, and you got War Games, possibly. Those 3 things right there. Oh, yeah, the fourth, if you want to call it a fourth, the dynamic between Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. You got all these stories, stewing into a pot here, and it's great. And eventually, we gotta find out why Cody brought back Jey Uso eventually. He explained it, but like with the whole SmackDown thing, who's going to SmackDown, all that stuff. We got to figure that out. That's number 1. Number 2, Drew McIntyre. I expect Drew McIntyre and Cody to get involved with each other sometime in the next couple months. And after that, maybe Cody goes to SmackDown. I don't know. But I think Cody right now, I kind of thinking about it, he needs to stay on Raw for a while before he goes to SmackDown. Because we all know, for the most part, Cody may be going to SmackDown. And if he's going to SmackDown, if he leaves soon, then that's not good. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Cody would go to SmackDown right now, because what is he going to do over there? What is he going to do over there for the next 6 months before WrestleMania? We'll say the next 4 months, because you could use those other 2 months to build to WrestleMania. What is he going to do there for 4 months? Who is he going to feud against? That will make sense. Keep him on Raw. Keep him on Raw. Then once they finalize the trade, they can send Cody Rhodes on over to SmackDown when it's appropriate, and so they can get the ball rolling at WrestleMania and see it. But that was the Monday Night Raw recap, ladies and gentlemen. So great show. We got some news here. We'll talk a little bit more about Jade Cargill in the back half of this here. We got 24 minutes left in the show. Again, if you guys are new around here, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notification bells as well, so you know when I go live. But I'm here every weekday, guys. You don't need a notifications bell. All you need to know is I'm here every weekday from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And like I said, set your notifications bell for that. This is the Morning Slam podcast, live here on YouTube, and also on wherever you hear your podcast as well. So enough of Monday Night Raw. Let's get into some more news here. Very quick news notes here. Eddie Kingston signed a 4-year deal with AEW. He revealed this here by ad-free shows. He stated, "You haven't heard anything about me with a contract because I did my shit on the low. My thing was coming up and I got 4 more years. I'm straight. No one needs to know how much. No one needs to know how long. Well, we found it was 4 years. I got my fucking shit. I got my shit, and I'm going to be there for a minute because there is nowhere else where I want to be, and that's good for Eddie Kingston. I've grown on Eddie Kingston. I liked him, about 10 years ago. Then when he got to AEW, I was like, oh no, he always seems angry. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's still angry, but I just realized, hey, that's just fucking Eddie Kingston, just Eddie being Eddie. So I just gotten used to it, but he's growing back on me again. But great on the mic. You can't say this man can't cut a promo. In the ring, some people don't like it, some people love it. I'm in the middle-ish, towards more liking it than not liking it for the most part. But he is an asset. He is someone that can legitimately can make a feud important with just about anybody. So yeah, man, good for him. It's a 4-year deal. And he deserves it too as well, because he's a guy that was on the indies for years and years and years and years and years. And he even cut a promo a few years ago talking about I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat here. Yes, I only cover pro wrestling, Kervin. This is a wrestling show. That's why it's called the Morning Slam Podcast. And I shouldn't be looking at my chat either, so my apologies, guys. So I appreciate you guys coming in here. So really thank you guys for coming in here. But I try not to look at the chat because it is more distracting to me than anything else. But I do acknowledge what you guys are saying in there, though, so I really do appreciate it. But Eddie Kingston, overall, though, he deserves this, and he really is a guy that can really, like I said, make a few legitimate. So good for him. Good for him. He got his 4 years, and hopefully he continues to do what he loves. So, he does want to go to the WWE, that's for sure. SmackDown Ratings. SmackDown from Friday got a 2.2 amount of viewers, 2.2 viewers, 2.2 million viewers, and in the demographic, in the 1849 demographic, they got a 0.63. Rampage got 341,000 viewers, and in the 18 to 49, they got a 0.12. So Rampage, look, it is what it is with Rampage. They don't put anything on the show. They don't put anything on there that's worth a damn. Collision is the opposite. Collision, they actually do stuff on there. Collision, they actually, Collision, they actually, how should I say? They actually advanced storylines on there. They had a big title change ish. Technically, they had a big title change on Saturday as well. And Dynamite's Dynamite. So Rampage, whatever. Like, it's I don't know. But speaking of SmackDown, this is great, and this is very encouraging to someone like Jade Cargill, which we're going to talk about again a little bit here. Io Sky versus Asuka had the highest viewed quarter and the highest increase jump from the previous quarter last week's. Almost 2.4 million viewers tuned in for the match with Asuka versus Io Sky for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, or WWE Women's Championship, with over 100,000 viewer jump from the previous quarter. That quarter had John Cena in it. So that tells you that if you can get a hyped match, doesn't matter who it is, women or not, if you get a hyped match, you can have the biggest drawing in the show. And that's what they did there. So I'm very happy for those women, man. I'm very huge fans of them. And it was a very good match. So happy for Asuka and Io for getting that recognition. Speaking of viewership, TBS celebrates AEW Dynamite's Grand Slam, says program reached 2.8 million viewers. Hold on. Calm down. They did not average 2.8 million viewers. We know this. Calm down. Let's take a toll here for a second. But it reached 2.8 million viewers. So, although last week's AEW Grand Slam reportedly averaged 984,000 viewers on TBS Warner Bros. Discovery, issued a press on Monday to claim that 2.8 million fans watched the third annual television special that emanated from Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York. While WBD did not provide specifics on the viewership breakdown, one can assume that additionally nearly 2 million viewers included delayed viewers watching via DVR on demand and other official streaming platforms that carry AEW programming. So, though the release, WBD also touted last Wednesday's show as the strongest performing episode of the year, which I can agree with, because they did had a very nice rating. And also on top of that as well, I think that was the most viewed Dynamite since January or something like that. But citing that the fact that the show delivered a 1.11 rating among adults 25 through 54 and a 0.93 in the 1449 key demos. AEW saw a nearly 20% spike from their prior 6 weeks, a key indicator of the interest the special episode generated among casual fans, as noted in the live viewership article. Dynamite Grand Slam also finished as cable's #1 telecast among key demographics, including 18 to 49, and for adults and males 25 to 54, and ranked #2 overall across all cable and network television among males 18 to 34. So basically, long story short, good for Dynamite. I'm glad that there is a second wrestling promotion out there. I'm glad that they are starting to ascend a little bit, up the ladder a little bit again, due to the whole CM Punk fiasco earlier in the summer, or a couple months ago at this point now. But yeah, man, good for AEW, good for Dynamite, and I really wish them more in success here as well, because there's some stuff on there that I can live without, but right now they're putting on some good stuff for the most part. So, I'm enjoying Dynamite right now. I'm enjoying AEW right now overall. Like I said, there's stuff on there I can live without, but overall I am enjoying what I'm seeing on AEW. Let's talk about Jey Uso real quick. I should have brought this up a little bit earlier, but this is coming from Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp, WWE officials are happy with the reactions for Jey Uso. He's tentatively planned for a long-term and heavily featured role. Those around the Bloodline storyline were confident that Jey would be launched into single stardom. And so far, so good, because as I mentioned earlier, as I mentioned throughout this whole podcast this morning, Jey Uso is, he's making everything better on Raw right now. So that's basically, that's news, but non-news for the most part. If you guys are into Japanese wrestling stardom, if you're familiar with this name, Mariah May come back to Stardom. It's not for sure that she is coming back. This is coming from Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer newsletter. She told the company that she's not going to WWE or AEW, and that the door is open for her to come back if she wants to. The status, that's the status. I think a lot of the people that thought that she was going to AEW is for sure, and she may be, but it doesn't appear for sure. She's left the door open with Stardom, and that's again coming from Dave Meltzer. So if you're familiar, Mariah May, she's part of Club Venus with Mia Shikawa over there in Stardom. Be familiar with them. Not saying for you to go check out all their stuff, but just know who they are, and hopefully you get to see. She's very easy on the eyes as well, so that helps too. So. But, yeah, Mariah May looks like she's maybe staying at Stardom for now. That is at least a speculation. But if not, she may go to WWE or AEW. So just keep an eye out on that. And finally, before we get back into some more Jade stuff here, we got the NXT card tonight, the preview. We got Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov contract signing for No Mercy on Saturday. We got Dijak and Eddie Thorpe in a strap match. Eddie Thorpe doesn't like his tree being whipped, so that's going to be very interesting. We will review that tomorrow. Gigi Dolan versus Blair Davenport. And we also have Butch versus Joe Coffey, which is the finals of the Heritage Cup tournament, which is basically a G1 climax tournament for NXT. So the winner faces Noam Dar at No Mercy. And we got Becky Lynch segment. I'm assuming it's a promo segment where Tiffany Stratton is going to come out. You know, maybe she beats down Becky Lynch to get heat for their Extreme Rules match at No Mercy this Saturday. So I will say this, NXT is my favorite show. It's my favorite show right now, so I am looking forward to that tonight. Not saying it's the best show. I think Raw's the best show, but my favorite show right now is NXT. Let's get back to Jade Cargill, and let's see what the so look at this. So WWE on on Twitter, they're already starting it. They're saying, name the first superstar you'd like to see Jade Cargill face in WWE. One person says Bianca. No. Why would you want that match to happen as her first match? Calm down. Calm down, bro. One person put the promo of Jade Cargill being confronted by Brandy Rhodes. But a lot of people are saying Bianca Belair. I want that match, but you don't have that as Jade's first match. Come on, use your head, people. Use your head, people. Use your head, people. Okay? Rhea Ripley, no. No, I don't want that as her first match. No. Liv Morgan, I can live with that. Nia Jax, that will put Jade over tremendously. And this is what they're doing with Nia Jax to put Jade over. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about that. It was just to put Jade over. But a lot of people are saying Bianca Belair, which is a big no for me. Not because I don't want to see the match. I want to see the match. You just don't put that as her first match. You just don't. It's something that you no, you don't do it. But but a lot of people want to see that first feud. A lot of people want Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania 40. Look, man. Look. I would do a Jade Cargill. Maybe have Jade Cargill in the Hurt Business. There's a lot of things that are going through my head right now. But maybe have Jade Cargill with Bianca. If they're gonna keep Bianca on SmackDown, they need to have an alliance. Or not Bianca, they're going to keep Jade. I'm sorry. They're going to keep Jade on SmackDown, or if they put her on SmackDown, they need to have an alliance. Point blank, period. They need to have an alliance. Point blank, period. Because eventually, if they're separated, eventually that's going to come to a head in a one-on-one match. I'd rather have them be friends and teammates, and once they break up, it's a bigger story. Kind of like Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. It was the hugest story, one of the hugest stories of 2023 still. One of the hugest stories of 2023 still is, Sami Zayn breaking up from the Bloodline and that match with Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber in Montreal. They can do something similar with Bianca and Jade if they put them together. That's if Jade is going to be on SmackDown, which I think they may end up doing because she's the bigger star. You know what I mean? It may be better for Fox, but at the end of the day, too, WWE is not going to be on Fox anymore. They're going to be gone from Fox, and this time next year, 1 year from now. So I don't think that's really going to be a concern of Fox at this point, in my opinion. But if she's going to be on the main roster, I'd rather for her to go to Raw. In a trade, in some aspect, where she's on SmackDown temporarily, then go to Raw. And I think that's probably going to be better for her overall, in my opinion. But Jade Cargill, guys, is going to be in the WWE. I see a picture of a Ricky Starks saying that he's proud, and it's a picture of him and Jade. Ricky Starks, you may be next, brother. It's a domino effect. Cody, Jade, Ricky, Wardlow, MJF? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But again, guys, if you guys are coming in with the news, Jade Cargill has officially signed a multi-year contract with WWE. That's coming from ESPN, and it's also coming from WWE's Twitter. Official. It's official. 100% official. Jade Cargill signed to WWE. Huge. Huge. Big. This is the biggest woman signing. I don't want to say, God, man, do I want to say ever? Like a free agent signing. This is not like, being developed like Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. They were like basically, well, except for Charlotte Flair, basically all nobodies, then became superstars, right? Rhea Ripley became a superstar under the WWE umbrella. But would you say, and I can't really think off the top of my head, is the biggest woman signing in WWE history, free agent signing? Trish Stratus developed under WWE. Lita developed under WWE. Like, Asuka. Everyone knew who Asuka was. Well, not everyone, but not a lot of people knew who Asuka was originally. Io Sky, Io Shirai, Kairi Sane. They were big signings for people who knew of their work in Japan. Jade Cargill signing is a bigger signing because casuals know who Jade Cargill is. I think this is the biggest signing for a woman, free agent signing in WWE history. I can't really pinpoint and think of anything else that rivals this. Am I wrong to think that? Alexa Bliss? No. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this is the biggest signing ever, but don't want to really continue to go on that point there. But she is trending worldwide right now. Is Jade Cargill though? But when more news breaks, I'll come and bring that to you here. But outside of that, guys, that is it for the podcast here. Thank you so much for coming out here. Thank you so much for checking me out. I am here every weekday, 8:30 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're ending about 5 minutes early here. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. X down below. Follow me on there. I am going to be tweeting out. I did tweet out for Monday Night Raw my live thoughts. If you want to follow me on there and comment and talk to me about my live thoughts on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, and by all means follow me there. Also follow me on Instagram as well. And also I'm going to be uploading these podcasts on Spotify and Apple and Google and all the other, Spotify, I mentioned that too as well. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'm going to go and get out of here. You guys have a great day. Enjoy. Jade Cargill is officially signed to WWE. See you guys later. Peace.